human perspective.
Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you all so much for joining the Saturday night Power of 8 at 8. I got my days mixed up. Normally Cheetah thinks it's Friday night. Yeah. But yeah,
I feel like it's Friday too.
Yeah, it does have that Friday, the weekend feel about it. That's a good thing though, you know.
Yeah, it does. It is a good thing. We got an extra day in our minds. Hey everybody.
Yeah, everybody, of course, knows this is Eileen joining here, and it's the Power of 8 at 8. And is it 8:08 or no? 8:05.
8:05. We're 3 minutes early.
We're doing good.
We're really 5 minutes late, but we're so positive here. We call it 3 minutes early, right? Because we always start at 8:08.
Yeah, totally. Let's see. So
I'm not looking at the chat at all because I have such sketchy Wi-Fi. I had to turn everything off. So the only thing I have is my Hangout screen. So I'll have to go back and read the chat later. So if you see anything pop up, just let me know.
Just a bunch of hello, everyone's, and good mornings.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Where are we good morning at?
Yeah, lunar rays.
Heading west. Heading to California, Hawaii, Australia.
Yeah, maybe Australia.
Oh, no, that's heading later. No, it's earlier.
Well, the UK, it's like 1 in the morning. So it could be Sunday morning in Scotland. Welcome from Scotland. Hey, Debbie Hazelton.
Hi, Debbie. I got to hear you this morning because I was so tired last night. I didn't listen to the Love Stream live, but I always grab shows like you and Jose and Michelle's opinions the next morning. I'll make a cup of coffee, I'll get my phone out, and I'll just put my favorite people on and drink coffee while I'm listening to them.
Yeah, mine are so long, you probably have to do the double speed thing I have to do all the time. Huh?
I don't have double speed. I take it in 2. I do like an hour and a half or an hour, and then I go get something done, and then I come back and finish it.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Yeah, people who do artwork or things like that, you can at least listen while you do what you do. I got, let's see, Pam and Daryl, that's over the road truck drivers. So they're able to just, they've got all the time in the world while you're driving.
Yeah, just driving. I do that too because I used to do property management with a lot of driving, and I would always be saying to people, I'm driving but listening, and then they'd laugh if I commented because I was at a stoplight. They're like, why are you commenting? It's a red light.
Hey, Dead GPK.
You want to put her back in? Hey, Dead GPK, thanks so much for blowing up that cool image of whatever it was that I caught on Saturday. That's kind of blown up for me. Dead did a blow up of it, and I dropped that link everywhere because we've now sent it on to Unirock, and we're seeing if he's going to blow it up even more.
Nice.
So, yeah, I got some really good feedback from around the world, like from Spain. And I got a lot of comments from like Russia that I couldn't read. So I finally put in there, I said, look, if I can't read your comment, I think I'm going to remove it because it could say something really, really bad. And there it is on my, and I let people disagree politely. But if they got really mean about it, I just gone. If you're nicely disagreeing, great. Just be kind, say whatever you like, but be kind.
That's what I always tell people. And then they, they've gotten upset. They're like, oh, you don't like anybody that disagrees? I'm like, no, I just don't like people being rude. It's like, you could totally disagree, I don't mind that.
Totally disagree.
Why name call and stuff? And there's been a few people that's made a really good point that I would have loved to keep up there. But they ended it with something, something nasty, like idiots or, and it's usually I don't want to say usually, but sometimes it's about the guest, or I would just, just deal with it if it was that good. But I can't, have them be rude to my guest because they have a differing opinion. So it's like, I got to get rid of it. But if people are just polite, I can't teach you manners, I always say.
No, and it's keeping the site nice and light. It's keeping the energy clean, because we're here, we're a community, and we often disagree with each other, but kindly. And if we leave nasty, mean comments in there, when we read them, it lowers our energy. We're like, oh,
totally.
that made
and
me
it
feel
triggers
bad.
the other person and lowers their energy, and it's this endless cycle of, I'm just trying to do the opposite.
And then people who love you go into that person and start yelling at them. How dare you talk to Shane like that? You're a this, and that. So sometimes it brings that maternal side out, and then we act negatively to defend the host, right?
Exactly.
So I'm just thrilled. I had so much fun with it. It got a lot of views, and it's still, because when Dead GPK blew it up for me and we took a look at it, he slowed it down. It didn't reveal anything new. But I thought, there's so many triangles and circles and squares in the sky with dots made out of dots around it. Is that like CGI? Is this like Bluebeam? We've got HARP in Florida. Are they just like testing it out, testing out the waters and going, let's see how people react to this today? And then just slowly, have something go by that comes out of nowhere. You saw it come out of light on a blue sky. It just like materializes, and then a little dot comes above it for half the video, and then the dot disappears, and the rest of the video, it's just off on its own again. So that's confusing people, because some people, as soon as they see that dot, they're going, oh, it's definitely a plane. But then when you ask them, but where was the dot in the beginning and where was it in the end, they're like, I don't know, it just kind of appeared.
Right. So, it could have been, if it was some type of blue beam technology, it could have been like the marker or tracker they were using to, I don't know. I don't know how it works, but I could totally see it being something else,
There's no way we can tell. It could have been a blimp. It could have been a banner. It could have been a cigar-shaped UFO. It could have been the side of a triangle. Because I got to tell you, where I am, there's an Air Force base. We got loads of triangles. I've seen them at least 4 times. Most of the people I know have seen them. So they're ours. They're part of our secret military planes. And who knows, maybe it was a triangle on its side, and we were looking at it from that side, not from the triangle,
That says it's a UFO. Yeah, that's clear. It's definitely a
UFO. That's what Sherry said from Overprotected. She's like, until I hear otherwise from MUFON, it's an unidentified flying object, Eileen.
We're trying to identify it as we speak.
I think, like most of us, would like it to be from them. But, it could be ours. It could be one of our secret thingies. But, okay, I have not looked at UFO videos for years. And it got me looking again. And those cigar shapes are all over the world. But I've seen loads of banners. And when you see banners, you can read the lettering. Now, if it is a banner, it's just a big black thing, just a big black banner where you can't read the lettering, if that's what it truly is. But I think I saw them over Mexico, Canada, Netherlands, Russia, Germany. I saw them everywhere. If you look on videos, right, they look just like mine.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes me wonder, because a lot of the banners aren't, first off, they aren't black like that. And aren't they just letters?
They used to be
just like strings with letters on the string or something, so we would have seen through it.
Sometimes they go backwards, and you're like, "Oh, I can't read it. It's backwards writing. I need to be on the other side of the airplane, right?"
Exactly.
You always saw the lettering, and now it's just a big black rectangle.
And the other thing is, you can hear like air conditioners at a distance and stuff like that, but no airplane. So I mean, the sound's coming through, but no airplane sounds.
Yeah. And then that little dot that is above it for half the video, that's really a hopeful stretch, because that dot is so small compared to the banner. It would have to be a minuscule plane. You knew, because you blew it up, remember?
Yeah. And the other thing to think about is it was so much higher, when typically when it's pulling the banner like that,
they're a little closer.
They're more parallel, or
a little more even.
Yeah, a little more even with each other. Yeah.
But it was a good exercise. It was really good because I put it out there as one or the other. I didn't put it out as one, even though you could hear me going, yay, yay, it's UFO. I was so excited. But I was like, is it really? I'm keeping my mind open. So I would allow people the opportunity to decide for themselves what they think it was. So very interesting, because we might need to be watching for more Project Bluebeam stuff, especially since Trump announced the space agency. So, possibly. And apparently, because we don't watch mainstream media anymore, I think we missed all the soft disclosure, because I saw a video today about all the main news outlets doing soft disclosure on aliens and alien aircraft, non-terrestrial aircraft, December 16th. They said for some reason on December 16th last year, they were given the go-ahead to basically say, yes, we are being visited. And we miss it in this community because we don't watch mainstream news anymore.
Or if we do see, we're like, hey, we saw stuff like that years ago. Come on.
Yeah, it's like, God, we've known this for years. Yeah. But we're kind of missing.
It's not as good as your footage, you know what I mean? Whatever they, a lot of times it's just ridiculous.
I missed it. Yeah. And we don't trust them anyway, so why do we care what they say? But it is interesting if they're starting to fess up, like NASA fessed up on something large tilting the solar system. Holy moly. So that led me into research on the Great Year, which is, the precession of the equinoxes, which I know you understand.
Yeah. And
that led me to the scientist basically saying that she has pretty good proof that the entire galaxy is being tilted. Well, it's like, okay, we can figure out that the solar system's being tilted, and we can blame that on a twin star, because 80% of all stars have a twin or a triplet. They come in two or multiples. Like the closest star, Alpha Centauri, has 3. And what would be tilting the entire galaxy? What could have that force? But another galaxy, coming close to us? I don't know.
That's bizarre to imagine the whole galaxy, because it's so astronomical that
it's so big in our minds.
I mean, we can't even travel across it. You know what I mean? It's so big that I don't know. It's almost.
So I looked that up. The galactic year to go from one point in the galaxy to the other is 240 million years. I know. That's huge. To circle the galaxy once. I mean, that's how big it is. So, yeah, I mean, when you start going down these rabbit holes of what is tilting the solar system, and all these sonic booms are being heard all over the world constantly now, that kind of seems like part of this pole shift. Metal Rabbit and I were talking about that on emails this week. We're saying, yeah, that seems to be tied in. Stress of the Earth being relieved. Some reports say that the North Pole moved 168 kilometers this year in 12 months. Is that a lot? I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what they were saying. It was when they're saying it was 20 or 30 miles a year, which would be, I think 60 miles is 90 kilometers. So, yeah, that would be quite a bit. That would be close to 100 miles.
That's what
I think.
How many miles is that?
Closer to 100 miles of movement. That would be pretty far, it seems like. But I don't know.
Is that a lot for a North Pole? And how big is the Earth?
Yeah, I want to say they were saying it was moving 20-something miles a year, which they were saying was a lot. And then for it to, I can't remember the exact numbers, but yeah, I think 100 miles is a lot for the North Pole to move in a year,
In the last 12 months, yeah. That's what it's done. So it's like Pandora's box, but in a positive way. Once you open one.
Oops. Are you frozen on me here? Yeah. Did we lose you? Oh, sorry. We lost you for a second there.
Okay, yeah. I keep kind of going in and out. So I'm trying to I hope I keep my connection. If I get excited about things. No, it's not storming yet, but maybe one's coming, because then we really lose our internet big time when we get these big thunderstorms. And we had a cracker of a thunderstorm like 2 nights ago. It was huge. It was big.
Have you been noticing that the weather, like the wind is so vicious now and the rain falls so hard? And
the wind was so big, and I swear to God, the raindrops were enormous. You know, they weren't hail, but they sounded like hail. That's how big they were and how forcefully they were coming down. Yeah, I definitely.
And the
I
water
noticed,
going down the street, it's like a river. It's like, oh my gosh, look how much water is going down the street. It's really dumping it on us all at once.
we have to drive in the middle lane because the far right lane is cambered to big drains to drain off the water quickly. So the middle lane is always the highest point here by me.
That's probably because, you know, they've got to be prepared for the hurricane. Because that's a lot of water you get dumped on you when the hurricane.
That is a lot of water. Last year was really tough by me when we had Irma come through. First time since 1960, a year before I was born, that Naples got hit. And I'm 57, so it took 58 years for it to get the second hurricane with a direct hit.
Oh, wow.
That seems like a long time. That seems pretty safe. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
not too bad.
Oh, I meant to ask you, back to the footage of the UFO. You said you were facing north. What is that direction from where you are?
Away from the Everglades, heading north, facing north to all the towns. I'm about less than 10 miles from the Gulf Coast, and the Everglades are behind me. So that's just facing north up the
There's not
coast.
Like a big city that way or anything? Or is it
There is about 35 minutes. If you drive 35 minutes on the highway at 70, 75 miles an hour,
so
there's Fort Myers. Fort Myers is pretty big.
Yeah, that sounds like it was in between you and Fort Myers somewhere then, because it wasn't that far. Yeah.
In a fairly unpopulated area as well, because I'm further out. The closer you go to the water, the more condensed there is houses and stores. And the further out you go, the fewer houses, the fewer stores there are. And what was I going to say? We have an air base between closer to Miami. But, you know, that's a hop, skip, and a jump for an airplane, isn't it? And that's why I've seen 3 or 4, I've kind of lost count, TR-3Bs in 4 years. I tend to see 1 a year living here. And I'm convinced that they're ours. I really am. I don't feel like we're being visited in the triangles because they're so common, right?
Yeah.
MUFON thinks they're ours.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're ours too. They say you can tell by if it looks like it's got seams. Oh, sorry. It's got seams in it and it looks constructed, then it's ours. But if it seems
silent,
yeah,
it's huge. It has cloaking mechanisms. So that could have been a triangle. Viewing it from the side of a triangle, you wouldn't see a whole lot of it, would you? You'd only see one side of it.
Totally, yeah. So yeah, that just crossed my mind. So is Miami to your south of you, or is it?
Miami is due east of me.
Oh, okay.
So if you drive for 2 hours,
Miami,
it was going towards Miami.
I see.
But I'll tell you what we did see more recently, and that's black balls. Did I tell you this story already? It was right before I went to see David Wilcock for Ascension Portal, and we just saw these black balls, 2 of them, like circling each other way up in the sky, like where the jumbo jets fly, 35,000 feet. And my daughter and I were in the pool and we're like, oh my God, those poor birds, they're going to get run over by a commercial airliner if they stay up there. That's crazy. And as they came down closer and closer and closer, midday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they just had no wings. They were not birds and they were not airplanes. They were just black balls. And then they got
shiny.
They weren't shiny, just black balls.
And they were like rotating around each other, like whoops.
Yeah, they were like this, and just like doing that stuff like you'd expect 2 birds to do. And then suddenly they went phew. And one was in Miami in 10 seconds and the other was in New Jersey in a couple of minutes. It was like phew. They went separate directions, like super fast. And there were 3 of us in the pool and we're all like, those were not birds, and they were not airplanes. Now, what surprised me is I've never seen that before. So I looked it up on, while I was looking for cigar-shaped UFOs, I found loads and loads and loads of black balls. So sometimes the black balls are with the triangles, and sometimes they're not.
That's interesting.
So I have no idea what the black balls are. Are they ours? They could be. Why couldn't they be ours? They could be ours. Or they could be visitors. If there's like, when you live in a society that is based on secrecy, you never ever know. You have to use your gut instinct, you know? And you got to not care. You got to go, well, you know, I don't really care if it is ours or if it's not ours. I really don't care. You know, I'm good with both.
It's
right?
something.
Yeah.
And you know that they back engineered, you know, the real thing anyway, if it is ours. So it's still proof of there being something else, in my opinion. You know?
Yeah, and I'm not invested in it. I'm like, okay, however it turns out to be is fine with me, you know? I did get a few comments. Most of them were really positive to last week's meditation, but I got a few comments from different parts of the world, which is really interesting. And I always write back on email. It usually takes me a week to get back to people. And most people were like really excited to do the connecting with Starseed, like tonight while we're sleeping. I'm going to remember it. I'm going to remember my connections. And a few were really, really like frightened by it, you know, and they said, you know, you just don't do that. Don't do that. Don't invite them in your life. And they were coming more from anything that isn't human is dangerous. And other people were like, God, I know that they're okay. I know that I'm connected to a star family, but I'm just not ready to see them face to face yet. And I'm like, you know, go at your own pace. Do what you feel comfortable. Never push yourself past your comfort zone, you know, when you're doing anything in spirituality.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, plus a lot of religious people feel like they're all fallen angels or demons and stuff like that. So
I got a little of that, and I said, oh, well, I really appreciate you commenting and writing to me and sending me some videos to watch on following. I think from the evidence that I've seen in this short life of 57 years, that I have personally witnessed more evil acts from human beings than I have witnessed from aliens, from life or non-terrestrials, life forms from off of Earth. So logic, purely logic, would tell me I have more to fear from human beings than I do from non-terrestrials. Because
and the other thing that from a Christian worldview anyway is that supposedly a 1/3 of the angels fell, so there technically should be 2 times as many good angels that aren't demons. If that's your worldview, that you think they're fallen angels, there should be twice as many good ones as there are bad ones. So something to consider, you know, because some people think they're all bad, and it's like, how is that possible if you believe from
how is that possible if you believe the scripture? And that's kind of humanity too. We're at least 2/3 good, 2/3 loving, 2/3 cooperative, you know, and even less than 1/3 unkind, selfish, greedy. Definitely even less than 1/3. What maybe that makes us the fallen angels. Maybe the scriptures are talking about human beings, you know?
Totally, yeah. I could definitely agree with that for sure. Oh,
and
thank you, Dad JPK. He was sharing your link.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It was Polar Bear Stare.
Yeah, she pasted in some, or he pasted, whoever pasted in some 8 balls, some black 8 balls, you know, to go with your black ball story. That's funny.
Oh, yeah. I used to have one that I used to shake as a teenager. Does he like me? Right. Yes, he loves me.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Well, it was it was really nice that the communication on that video was positive, you know, like 10% negative, maybe another 10% fearful, and 80% overwhelmingly positive. I'm like, people really, really, really want disclosure. People are really wanting to know that there are other beings and that they're not bad, that they're not going to come down and enslave us, or God, not treat us the way we treat animals, if you look at it that way, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And I come from the school that if they were, you know, thinking, if they were out to get us like that, they're so far advanced that they'd have no problem. I mean, we wouldn't have a chance, you know what I mean? So I don't think we have anything to worry about. I think
wouldn't we
they
be
have
gone
more.
by now?
Yeah,
Wouldn't they
totally.
have us by now in
They could zap
cages
us
or
with the human frequency
Yeah.
and wipe us all out, or whatever.
Yeah, we'd be gotten by now if they were going to do that. Why wait? You know, why wait and watch? You know,
Exactly.
so that gives me confidence.
Yeah.
Maybe too much confidence. Maybe that's why I believe that they're like our friends. I'm like a real alien lover. You know, I love E.T. I love Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I don't know if I'd get on the spaceship with them because I have my family and my roots on Earth. So I don't know that I'd be ready to fly off with them. But, you know, maybe if I can take my family and my puppy dogs with me, you know, maybe.
Yeah, I think if they were going to just take me for a ride around the solar system, I'd just like, yeah, just have me back in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm talking like forever, Shane. I'm like that movie where everybody goes, they're like, bye, I'm moving to another planet now.
I think they're staying away. I have a feeling they're either staying away out of free will because it's like, you know, this grand experiment down here. They can't like interfere with it, or they just know that it would be like us heading into like the forest with all these wild animals, and we're like, I'm not going in there and getting mauled or attacked, and then, you know, you don't want to harm the animals, so you just stay away because you don't want it to shoot a lion or a gorilla because he starts charging you or something. So, and I think that's what they'd be looking at. I mean, we're so violent here, you know. I don't think I'd
and we're
visit
becoming
either.
less violent. We're like getting ready. We're becoming, our love in our community is spreading by leaps and bounds. I really do believe that we were all out there floating around like little photons of love, just out there doing our love thing. And then suddenly we came together, and the power of our love just like it grew exponentially because we connect every day. Don't you feel like that?
Totally. Yeah, me too.
And you gave us the best platform because I still haven't found a platform like this. This is like home. And so many people here are like, this is home. This is where I can go and be myself and receive love in return. Not be afraid. Am I going to upset somebody if I say what I think, you know, or what I believe?
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like a lot of the people that get offended really easily have left a long time ago. It's like I'm not listening to this guy anymore. And maybe hopefully they'll come back when they realize that I wasn't intending to offend them in any way.
No, and the same thing's going to happen to me because I got a lot of views on the UFO video, and they're like subbing to me, and I'm like, they're going to be gone so fast when I start going, okay, let's meditate now. They're going to be like, what? I thought this was a UFO channel. I'm out of here.
That's funny. That's what Angel, that the guy I had on, he was talking about that too, because he got all these subs and he's more of a spiritual thing, and people are thinking he's just going to be all about the Q thing all of the time and stuff. So it's like,
I saw that interview. I totally agreed.
Yeah.
And every now and then I'll post a Q video. I don't really do it anymore, or a political video, and I'll get a whole bunch of subs, and then boy, they are just out of there as soon as the Power of 8 comes on.
That's right. Yeah, there's some things that are such a hot topic. I'd love to cover them a little bit more, but I have to, just because I like our community and I don't want this influx of that one video I did about Ariana Grande last year. I got subs from it, but gosh, it was
I
so
missed that
hard.
one. What did you?
I
gotta go
deleted
back.
it. I deleted it.
Okay.
Yeah, because they started getting channels, taking them down for old videos. I'm like, that's definitely one, because it had the FF word in it. If you know.
Oh yeah. I know the one. I'll just say Manchester. Yeah. Yep. Now I remember.
Yeah, so I ended up getting rid of that one, and Diane from the UK, actually, that's how I found her. I'm like, you're my silver lining with that whole video.
I remember.
You know, it was nice that she joined, but I was having to defend her because people were just so mean and rude. And I'm like, I don't want to just have this influx. It's just hard to. I was finding myself there all day long. It had like 70,000 views, and I was there all day long just moderating. I didn't have time for anything else. So
boom, delete, gone. I found the same thing with a lot of my political channels that I visit. I've just taken a break.
Yeah.
I had to take a break, and now I feel so good again. I was getting really, I don't know, it was getting really agitated in those political channels.
Oh, I forgot.
I mean, the really good ones, the
Somebody's
really
like, sorry,
yeah,
you
the
cut
really alternative channels, super alternative. Those are the only ones I'll even turn on. And even that was getting to be a bit too much for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it can pull you down. That's why I was talking to Michelle Wolf about it. I'm like, it's take a break from it sometimes, because it can pull you down if you're just there looking at this stuff all day long. And just when you get into all that, it just gosh, it's so heavy on your spirit.
But I think we're transmuting it. I think we're taking it in, and we're clearing on it. We're like, okay, instead of that really upsetting me or really making me scared or really fearful, I can just transmute it with love and with prayer and with intention. And now I can move on from that. You know what I mean? That's a big step for me. That's a big, big step. Not to get angry at the humans perpetrating what I'm looking at. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing that to those people? Why are you dropping those bombs? Why are you treating animals like this before we eat them? And boy, oh boy, oh boy, now I do Ho'oponopono, which I know a lot of people in our community actually know about, the ancient Hawaiian prayer. I think they got it from Joe Vitale. He made it popular like 10 years ago. And
yeah, you should bring it up again, because I know a lot of people might have missed it when you did before.
Yeah, it's just a way of clearing something. Like if you do something that you feel really bad about, you yelled at your kid, and you yelled at your kid because you were crabby and you didn't get enough sleep, and of course you say, I'm sorry to the child, and say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, I was crabby. And they're like, yeah, I know, I get that way too, Mom. So as soon as you can confront your mistake, they forgive you, they love you. But sometimes something happens that you've done and you can't clear it that way. You can clear it by saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, over and over and over and over in your mind, out loud, until your heart feels clear. And you'll just stop. And you'll know that you've cleared that in your DNA. You've cleared the program of that incident. And when you're watching TV or a video, whatever, somebody tells you a story and you have no personal involvement in it, but it makes you feel bad, then you can do the prayer differently. You can say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And if you do that over and over, you clear your emotional response to it, which actually clears the event. And the more people do that, the more they clear and clean and erase the programs that we're all kind of playing out on a day-to-day basis without even knowing it.
Mm-hmm. I do know what you're talking about, those lingering feelings that you just can't shake sometimes because you just feel bad about something, or just watching something and it lingers with you. Sometimes you watch something and it's such a mind bender, it hangs with you for 3 days. And you're like, that was so horrible. It's like, dude, it was just a movie, I know, I just can't shake it, So yeah,
I saw something that really upset one of my daughter, and she showed it to me, and I'm like, oh my God, now I'm upset. It was white cops who were really young and inexperienced and afraid of this guy who was sitting on a stoop. And they kept telling him, put your legs out. And they try to put them out, and then they go cross him. And every time he tried to cross them, his legs came back in. So they tasered him. And my immediate response was, I want to taser their nuts. I want to get a taser. The aggression, I became so protective of that person sitting on the stoop, trying to do as he was told, but he couldn't make his body do it. His body just couldn't do both things at once. And that kind of broke my heart a little bit. So I'm going to have to work on that one tonight, because that's one that I saw today and I haven't cleared on it. But, I get these feelings when I see somebody being abused. I get very protective. Totally, it doesn't matter if I know them or not. I still want to protect them.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with you. It's hard to see that stuff, and you can't do anything about it. And it's like, and it's that same thing with starving people and homeless people. But yeah, when somebody's in an authority role like that and you see them abusing it or inexperienced, and you're like, this person shouldn't even be in this role they're in. They're not ready yet. you know.
But I think it's important that those images get out there, because that one was viral. You know, if I have a teenager showing it to me, it's viral. It's like on Instagram and stuff like that. And the good that that causes, you know, a lot of people go, oh, don't show that to me. We can't see the bad. You know, no. The good that that causes is it makes people aware of the problems, of where the problems are. More training, less abuse, maybe put body cameras on them. You know, we wouldn't have body cameras available in certain police stations if these videos hadn't been circulated. Then It would be 10 times worse. The abuse would be unchecked, invisible, unknown, growing and growing and growing and festering in its own little privacy, because nobody sees it, nobody cares. So actually throwing images out for the world to see often serves a really, really good purpose, don't you think, Shane?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's awareness, it's expanding awareness and consciousness. So the more that gets out, the more that, you know, these people will think a little bit more before they act in a way like that, because, you know, like, I don't want to end up on one of those videos, you know. So
yeah, like, exactly. So it's not a bad thing sometimes to see things, but it might be a bad thing to overreact emotionally, like I did today with anger. Yeah. You know, I need to, but I don't want to react with no emotion and just go, oh, I don't care. You know, that would be worse, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So somewhere is that line that we're towing, where we're transmuting all this energy here through our own hearts. And that's the only way I can describe it, is that we see this stuff and we change it when we can. And when we can't change it, we bless it and we heal it in an energetic way. Don't you think?
And it's called Ho'oponopono, H-O-L-O.
It's Ho, yep, Oponopono. And it's an ancient kahuna prayer of clearing and cleaning. And there's a website called ZeroWise.com, because it's trying to get back to zero, where there's not a good feeling, there's not a bad feeling, it's been neutralized. It's called ZeroWise, W-I-S-E, there's a dash in between, .com. And when you're really upset about something, you can put your prayer in there, and a whole bunch of people all over the world will pray on your prayer, which means clearing and cleaning your issue, your problem. So that's a good tool to know that there's somewhere you can go where you're going to get some prayer support on something.
Oh, somebody said John McCain just died.
Oh.
I heard he was going to stop treatment in the last day or so. That's interesting.
I just heard something good about him. I couldn't believe it. You know, because politicians, you never hear anything good about them.
Sorry, I just worried about those together.
About him. Yeah. Oh, I was watching the Linda Moulton Howell. I have such a hard time saying her name. She's so awesome. And she was talking about the UFOs that landed on an airbase in Britain. 1985, was it? 89? Somewhere around then. Mm-hmm. And one of the airmen got really, really sick from it, from the radiation. And he needed treatment later, 10, 20 years later. And he went to the VA, and they'd expunged his record of service, because he was the one who touched the UFO. So he went to Senator John McCain, thank you, and God bless you, John McCain, and he actually got him his VA treatments. This man who was expunged by the NSA took all his military records and just threw them away.
Wow, yeah. Is that the one where it was, do you remember the name of the city it was in?
I was going to say Rumsfeld, but that's another really bad politician. It starts with an R. It starts with an R.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I saw.
Rayfield.
Yeah.
England. It landed. So from what they had to declassify some of the information on that landing, and what she and her experts could determine was it was a drone. It was either one of ours, or it was a non-terrestrial drone. They don't think it was manned.
Someone was saying that about the black balls earlier, and it made me think, I'm like, well, you know, they wouldn't have flew off like that. I mean, they could have been a drone, but not the kind of drone I have, you know, or like that you can just buy just to film stuff, you know. It's
Mm-hmm.
some futuristic stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, could have been a drone. I didn't think of that, but it was up with the commercial airlines, or it was like 30,000 feet up. I'm like, those birds, that's stupid. You're going to get run over and, possibly bring down a passenger plane in the process, right? If they hit the engine or something. So I shouldn't have even thought it was birds, because there's no way birds can breathe up there, right? Nah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nah. But
and you wouldn't even have seen them.
Drones could go pretty high.
Yeah, they only go like the kind you buy will only go. They'll stop at 400 feet because they don't want them up really high, interfering with stuff. You know what I mean? I guess that's as far as you can see.
This was so high.
But it could have been like a military drone.
Are.
Yeah.
It could have been. Yeah, I live by an air base. Yeah, gosh, who knows what we're putting up there, which is fine with me. But if they were open and honest about what they're doing, we wouldn't be so suspicious.
Right,
of them,
really.
Right?
Yeah.
We trust our government, but when everything's based on secrecy, how can we learn trust? We can't. We trust each other,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you just never know, because we've been lied to so many times. It's like, fool me once, shame on you,
Fool me twice, shame on me. So now when NASA is saying that something is big out there, 20 times past the distance of Neptune, and it's pulling on the solar system and it's tilting the solar system, I'm like, do I believe them or not?
Right. And then I can totally see that, along with this disclosure back in December 16th that you were talking about, all leading up to some other kind of invasion, double F word for you guys in the chat there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because then we're going to need to give like billions of dollars to a worldwide space agency to protect humans. I don't think we're going to fall for it. I don't think it's going to work. I think we're too smart now. I really do.
You that sent me the where it showed how we have like a what was it? Just like a global, what was it called? What is it? It's like a space kingdom or something.
Some guy from Uzbekistan has started a space kingdom, and we're all welcome to become citizens of his space kingdom, and you get a number, you get a citizen number, and you get a credit card, and you have to pay taxes to him, right?
But he named it something. What did he name it again? It sounded like something from Thor.
Asgard. Asgardland.
Yeah.
It's Asgardland. Asgardia.
Right. Yeah, no disclosure, but we've got ourselves a space kingdom, but no
we
UFOs.
Have a space kingdom.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, this is like, this world is getting really strange, and it's very fun. It's very interesting,
Yeah, it sure is.
It's very entertaining, actually.
So, are we going to do a group intention meditation for
Asgardia?
I'm just teasing.
Oh my God! I saw that movie. I don't know. I see these movies because I have young people around me, teenagers. Do you see movies?
Yeah,
and I'm like, why am I giving money into the system? But I was quite entertained with that movie, that Asgardia one. Yeah. Okay, so we had 2 requests last week in the chat, which I can't see tonight because it interferes with my internet. One was from C. Richard. He suggested, or she, don't know what C stands for, suggested we transmute the bad energies of the chemtrails, fluoride, etc. throughout the planet to be good for people and animals.
I like that.
I do too.
That was the other thing. Have you heard about the directed the fires being caused by technology? I'll say it that way because I don't want to trigger the algorithms, but they're being basically like lasers, and because of the chemtrails falling, that stuff is highly reactive. So once the burning starts, then it's even more fierce because of all the stuff from that's crazy.
I've seen some evidence, and the woman is gone. She's like the best person on YouTube. I don't remember her name. I'm very sorry.
The one that had the samples from her lungs?
Yeah.
I saw her.
She's gone now. I'm not saying she's dead, but she's just not on YouTube anymore. There are a couple who are off YouTube who were saying that these were direct laser fires to get people out of the countryside and concentrated in the cities. And then they're putting up these weird speakers in the cities, which are supposedly 5G, so that they would have more control of the population. But you got to say, why? Why do they need more control of the population? Well, that would indicate something like they know an asteroid's coming, Nibiru, Nemesis, something that they're not sharing, which would also explain why they're building their underground bunkers to last 30 years. So I have seen that, and a lot of smart meter stuff that I didn't like. I was like, ew, with the smart meter technology possibly triggering some fires. I know why, because there'd be whole streets in California where the house is burnt down, but not the trees or the grass around them, and not the cars on the street.
Yeah, or the car would be completely melted, and it's like, or the house. Did you see the house that was just like there was a line of it, like where this part of the house was completely destroyed, and then it looked like they just basically took a hot iron and cut it and burned one half, and the other part's still standing. That seems so impossible,
I know. I've seen a lot of images like that are just mind-boggling, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how we're going to heal that. I wonder how we can work that into this. What do you think? If we're going to do...
because that kind of fits into the forest fires, because if that the forest fires won't burn as fiercely if we can transmute those trails into something less harmful. You know what I mean?
And then I'll also mention True Nature's Child wants to send love and protection to targeted individuals. So we'll save that for another week when it fits a little bit more. And we'll just, if that's okay, because that doesn't really fit in with the transmuting of the chemtrails, the fluoride, the toxins.
Yeah, and I like that because it can actually work as, instead of it being like something that calcifies our pineal gland, it can be something that actually activates it and awakens people. So, yeah.
Well, they do say now that you should ho'oponopono all your food and liquids. And do it for your children, too, if they forget. And what you do is while you're eating or drinking, you can do it in your mind, is you can say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Or I love you, thank you, I love you, thank you, I love you, thank you. You can do any version of those 4 statements, and you can clear and clean what you're about to eat, and then you can clear and clean what you've eaten in the past, and you can clear and clean what you're eating in the future. And you can do that every time you eat. You can, clear it, it's the blessing of your food, which as a Christian, we were always taught to bless our food, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally.
So that's a really good thing to do. Also, Amazon has a reverse osmosis counter filter. You don't have to drill it into underneath the sink and attach your water to it, which is usually what puts most people off. But it is expensive. It's like $250. But it's the first countertop reverse osmosis. So by the time, yeah.
I was going to ask if it lasts a while or if it's something you have to switch out, like cartridges every.
Yeah, cartridges once every 2 years, because it's every 10,000 gallons of water. But my sister said do it once a year. Just get your cartridges. They're like $100 or $150 once a year. So I guess that would come out to be about $15 a month once you own the unit, which is not bad. But the reason I'm talking about it is because reverse osmosis is no fluoride. You're not only just like getting rid of the chlorine and the lead and the cadmium and the heavy metals like the pictures do. You're getting rid of the fluoride, which is calcifying the thyroid and calcifying the pineal gland.
Let me ask you this: if you had one of those, does it fit on the end of the spout and then come out? Or the reason I'm asking is if it's something like, say, the water goes out and you can get like pool water, or.
She's like, I just got one because I've been using a pitcher, Brita pitcher, the filter.
Yeah, that's what
decades.
Do.
Yeah. So here, I got it. Are you ready? Tell me when you can see it.
Oh,
any good?
Let me click it.
Aqua True. So there you can see it made half a gallon of water, and it makes it in like 60 seconds. That tank, when I fill it up, will make a half a gallon in about a minute.
Nice.
Can you see it or not? Can you see it?
Yeah, it's sort of like it's like a coffee maker where you just add water to it and then it moves.
Oh God, you guys saw my dirty kitchen. You see my dishes too that I haven't done.
Nice.
It's a good thing we're all family here. That's all I can say. Yes, I haven't done my dishes today. Ooh.
No, it's not as clear as you thought. That's fine.
Good. I think those are I think those are the breakfast dishes, which we made at like 2 this afternoon. Brunch.
Right. Yeah.
Sleep in.
Pretty cool though. So you need electricity though. So that was the thing I was wondering about.
Yeah,
Is if,
you need electricity.
say, you know, the grid goes down, and if you could just go out and find some rainwater or pool water and pour it through it and get like drinkable water. So that's why I thought, man, it might be a good investment, because it's not so hard getting a hold of water. It's just getting a hold of clean water. You know,
clean water.
Yeah.
I did find on Amazon for $67 a pump to clean water just to get rid of the bacteria. Okay. And it's a hand pump. So it must put it through a carbon filter, right? I don't know. I haven't unpacked it, but I figure I'm not a prepper. I never have been, but I instinctively feel that now it's time to have a month's worth of food and a little hand pump to clean water, to clean a puddle. You could drink a puddle or rainwater. If, you know, $67 is a good investment. That's not too bad, right?
Right.
I thought that was, and you don't need electricity for that one. So if you have like a month's worth of food, I could live for 3 months on it because I'm overweight, and a little bit of food goes a long way with me. But then, you know, the kids that I have living here and the dogs, they need a better amount of food. So as long as you have a month's worth of food, hopefully if there was any kind of solar flash or something like that that took the grid down temporarily, that you'd get by. You'd have enough food to get by a month.
Yeah,
so they got,
I'd like
you know,
to live off the grid if I could. That'd be fun. Just to.
But are you feeling that way too? Are you feeling like it's a good idea to have a source of food and water for 30 days?
I don't really worry about it, or yeah, I usually get like water to stock up water, but then I end up drinking it. So it depends on when everything happens. So,
because
like,
I live around hurricanes.
Right.
I put water in 5 years ago. Ooh, drinking that water might not be very safe. I have like 5 gallons stored in a closet because of hurricanes. You have to. Because yes, our water went down last year for a week, and so did our electricity. So we had to live off stocked water and stocked food because nobody delivered any gasoline or any food to our town for at least a week. So we did it. We managed to go a week without any outside resources.
I've noticed that the stores are pretty much, you know, they just barely, in my area anyway, they don't stock up. They don't, I mean, if the trucks stop coming, we would run out of food in the stores within like a couple of days. It's like they don't stay really stocked up in the stores around here.
Ours definitely not, because we're not a city. We don't have big grocery stores.
So if something happened, people would go buy it out really fast, and it would just.
Yeah, ours did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got rid of gasoline 2 or 3 days. No gasoline in the area before the hurricane actually hit. And by the time the hurricane hit, there was no food anywhere except for in people's houses. Yeah. Okay. Well, so we're going to do C. Richard's request tonight. Okay. And we're going to transmute any bad energies, any chemicals, chemtrails, fluoride, etc., for health and well-being for humans and animals and plant life, and for Mother Earth herself. Yeah, we'll just do that tonight. And do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think it's perfect.
Okay, and then I'll just have a drink of water and just turn off my little video here. Okay. So why doesn't everybody like kind of move around and get comfy? Make sure that you're in a position where you can relax and breathe deeply and be comfortable for about 10 to 12 minutes. And we always start by taking in a nice deep breath and holding it for just a few moments. And then as we let out all the stresses of the day. And then when we take a nice deep breath again and hold it for a few moments, we let out any negativity in our bodies on the exhale. And a third deep breath, allowing our tummies to expand with that breath, filling up our lungs and holding it for just a few moments. And on the exhale, we're letting out any stresses around us. And as you begin to breathe comfortably, let's get our grounding cords very, very deeply put into earth. Imagine a silver or gold cord or a cord of any color made purely of light that goes from your root chakra at the base of your spine all the way through the building, all the way through the crust of the earth, down into the lower levels of the earth, all the way to the center of the earth, where it splays out in all directions like a tree. And now you are firmly grounded. And now as we breathe in, we're going to start to breathe in through our heart chakras. We're going to empower our heart centers that way and entrain our heart centers. So our heart energy is going to be very, very powerful during this group meditation. We're going to breathe in through our hearts, any color that you like, coming from God, coming from Source, coming from the creative universe, or coming from your higher self. And we're going to exhale that color out into the universe and let it fill the space around us in our immediate room. Inhale that color again. And as you're inhaling that beautiful healing color of light, exhale that color of light into your home environment with love, sending out love. And as you continue to breathe gently in and out of your heart chakra at a rhythm that's good for you, imagine sending that love light to all of your loved ones instantaneously, heart to heart. And now as you breathe in that beautiful, healing, gentle, loving light, as you exhale at this time, let it fill your own body from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, all the way down your arms and out to your fingertips. And once your body is filled with this beautiful, soothing, comforting, healing light, breathe that love light in again through your heart chakra. And this time, we're going to fill a cocoon, a bubble of light around us that serves to protect us as we're meditating in a group to heal either humanity or earth, or both humanity, the animals, the plants, the minerals, and earth herself. Fill that bubble of light over your head, around your face, around your shoulders. Make sure it's completely around your middle section, underneath your bottom, down your legs, and under your feet. So you are completely nestled within this beautiful, gentle, loving, and healing cocoon or bubble of light. And now we're just going to imagine something really wonderful that happened in our lives that made us feel an incredible feeling of love. It could be a special holiday that you had with family or friends. It could be a beautiful place that you went to see with loved ones or on your own. It could be a time that you had a very, very special pet. Just allow yourself to feel, what did that feel like when you were actually experiencing that? Feel that love again. And just give gratitude and thanks for the experience. Thanks to the people who were involved. Thanks to the place that was involved. Thank you to the animals that were involved in that beautiful, loving, amazing experience. And thank yourself also for having these experiences and being here and really, really enjoying your life and enjoying your environment, your planet, your home, Earth, and your loved ones and your friends and family too. And now when you're ready, just keep gently breathing. in and out of your heart chakra or in and out of your nose if that's more comfortable. And imagine the chemtrails that you've seen above you, around you, perhaps in videos on television. Those streaks of white and sometimes streaks of black now. And imagine that every single chemical trail ever sprayed in or around Earth is transmuted now instantly into something that is good for Earth, something that is good for humans, something that is good for animal life, something that is good for the water, something that is good for the plants that are growing, and something that is good for the minerals. It doesn't matter what it is transmuted into, so long as it is completely harmless to all life on Earth and Earth itself. And it's actually good for the planet, good for people. And we're now going to imagine not only the current chemtrails being good for us, we're going to imagine all the chemical sprays that have ever gone out into our atmosphere in the entire history of human life on Earth as being transmuted and being good, being harmless. It's that simple. And now we're going to shift our focus and we're going to move that focus forward through time, here, now, and we're going to transmute all the chemical trails, chemical sprays, aerosols, geoengineering, whatever you want to call it, perhaps fumes from trucks and cars and planes and trains and automobiles. We're just going to transmute anything that goes into our shared air into first making it harmless and then making it good, healthy, good for humans, good for animals, good for the water, good for plants that grow and trees and grass, good for the minerals, and good for the sun, because our life depends upon the sun growing our foods and healing our bodies, not only through vitamin D, but through electromagnetism, which usually comes in concentrated forms through our solar plexus, our yellow chakra, which is our third chakra, right in the middle of your tummy. And we want to make sure that anything that goes into the air around us in a collective way or in an individual way is immediately transmuted now, in the past, in the future, and forever going forward. And this is what we're seeing, and this is what we're creating. Now we're just going to change our focus a little bit and we're going to take a look at the water. We're going to look at our oceans and our rivers and our lakes and our drinking water that comes out of the tap, our rainwater that falls down on us and the animals and the plants and the minerals. And we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it much quicker. Because we've done it before with the chemtrails, we're going to find that the more we do this, the easier it becomes and the quicker we can do it. And we're going to transmute all the water on this planet that we call Earth, whether you think it's a round planet or a flat plane, doesn't matter. And we're going to transmute instantly all of the water to be harmless. And now we're going to take it a little bit further. We're going to transmute it to be good, to be healthy, to be refreshing, and to be life-sustaining and life-giving to humans, to animals, to plant life, to mineral life, and to the elemental energies that we can't even see, that actually exist and live around us and with us in symbiosis, in cooperation with all life. And we're going to do it instantly for our past, our present, and going forward in the future, we're transmuting all of the water that we ever drink to being good for our bodies, good for our children's bodies, good for our loved ones' bodies, good for our pets' bodies. And in the process of doing this, we're going to ask that our higher self steps in and decalcifies our pineal glands to the level that we can sustain now. To decalcify them so that our pineal glands are healthy and can help us in terms of not necessarily seeing the future, but giving us confidence in our own instinct to know when we should do something, where we should do it, and how we should do it. And letting us trust in ourselves, in our higher self, guiding us. And now we're just going to end this by thinking about food. Whether you eat only plants or fish or chicken or beef, whatever you eat, heal it now so that in your heart you are sorry if it was mistreated before you ate it, and you love it and respect it, and you have wonderful gratitude for the sustenance it brings your body, for the life it gives you. You are grateful, you are thankful, and you are transmuting that food so that in the past it has always been good for you and your children, anybody dependent on you, elderly loved ones as well. Anybody you're responsible for feeding is included in this intention. And that food is good for you now. Every bite you take of every meal helps your body to live, to slough off any negativity, any dead cells, any toxins. They just disappear. They go out the way they're supposed to. And now we're just going to push that forward into our future and say we are transmuting the food that we eat in the future and our children's food and all of those dependent on us, their food too, to be harmless and to be healthy, to be good for us, to sustain life in a really harmonious, comfortable way so that our bodies are working at their optimal levels. And now we're going to push that out, and we're going to do it for all of humanity. We're going to clear the food. We're going to clean the food. We've cleaned the air, and we've cleaned the water. And we're going to do this on a regular basis. We might do it while we're driving our cars. We might do it while we're out eating at a restaurant. We might do it while we're serving a glass of water to a loved one. We're just going to clear and clean not only our food, our air, and our water. We're going to do it for our loved ones, and we're going to do it for the world. Because actually this world is a very, 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 very tiny place. And we are very, very, very small beings on it. And we can do this with our love and with our higher knowledge and with our intentions. We can make this change, and other people will pick up on it around us. And they won't know why they're doing the same, but they will pick up on it and they will also do what we're doing. And now just start to relax and move your neck a little bit, move your hands, your ankles, your knees. Kind of come out of this group meditation, this group prayer, this group intention for healing, and let go of your grounding cord and see it just disappear into the earth until the next time.
Beautiful.
I hope that wasn't too rushed because we tried to do the air, the water, and the food. There's a lot.
No, it was good. I feel nice
And we did it in 12
relaxed.
minutes.
Very nice. Yeah, I thought it was good. No complaints here.
I tried to go back.
I got a little bit, got a little deep there, I think.
I'm clicking the wrong button. I've been trying to come back for a minute now. There I am. And I was hitting my
I love
icon.
that rainbow. Is that your?
I was hitting the rainbow. I'm like, I'm not coming back.
Look, I'm trying to chase the rainbow with my mouse.
Yes, Eileen's out there with the chemtrails, cleaning the chemtrails.
Is that your original picture, or is that one you found somewhere? Beautiful.
Which one?
The rainbow picture?
I can't remember. I had an original one from Hawaii that I used. I think that might be it. Oh, I used to go see my dad. He lived in Honolulu. And the day he died, there were I saw 9 rainbows. Maybe not everybody saw them, but I saw them. That might be one of my original ones, or it may be a stock one that I found on the internet that looked better than mine, because I used it so long ago, I don't remember anymore.
Nice. Yeah, I was just checking out the colors, and I'm like, man, that is a pretty good. It's hard to capture all the colors like that when you take a picture, but they're pretty vivid on that picture.
I'm so hot right now. Usually my hands heat up, my face is hot. Oh my gosh. Can you see? Do I look red?
Not too bad.
That was a deep one. That was boy, I think we have a lot of work to do, transmuting and cleaning with our energy and our love and our hearts. But yeah, I think we're getting there. I think people are catching on. If you read other comments on YouTube in places you don't expect it, you get these messages of cooperation and love and compassion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've had a headache all day long.
Did you drink enough water?
I've been trying to drink a lot of water. It's hard to tell. I checked the Schumann, and it was some pretty heavy pulses coming through, so it could be that.
I've just been sleeping. I slept through your show last night, and I slept through Jose's show. It was at 7, and I woke up, I don't know, around 11 or 12, and I stayed up till 4 a.m. because I slept from 7 to midnight. I was so tired.
Yeah, and I'm feeling that wave of tiredness. It was like that last night before about an hour before I went on. I had to take a 27-minute nap, and I felt tired.
I heard that.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to do another one, I guess, after I get off of here, because I'm not ready to go to bed.
I'm
for the evening.
sleeping like crazy, and that's not normal for me. I usually function on about 7 hours a night, and then I moved to 8 hours when my daughter and her boyfriend started working. Instead of me doing the school run, I could get the extra hour of sleep. But now I could easily sleep 9 or 10 hours and still be tired in the afternoon. So, I think I'm handling the waves, the energy by sleeping. I think that's my way of coping with it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
We're definitely changing our DNA. If you saw Michelle's opinions where and Michelle Wolf, but Michelle's opinion put her hand up and there were little tiny sparkles under the skin. Did you catch that one?
No, I didn't see that. I've seen it on my own hands though, outside in the sunlight.
Yeah, like that vampire movie where they all sparkled. We're all getting sparkly now. We are definitely evolving. Our DNA is definitely changing in a good way.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Oh, thank you, T. Taylor. So we can wrap this up and guess do it again next week. Anybody that has any suggestions, leave it in the comments below for our next Power of 8 at 8 intention, and we will go from there. It's better if you put it in a comment after the show is not live anymore, because sometimes it's hard to catch those in the live comments because there's so many of them. It goes so fast. And it malfunctions sometimes too, and it doesn't show up. Yeah, it doesn't show up. It does for me anyway. I don't know. Me too. It just stops working. Well, it shows mine, and I'm like, I know what I wrote. I want to see what everybody else wrote. Why is it just showing me mine? So I don't know. So if you put it in the comments afterwards, there's a comment section. Once it's uploaded, we can catch those by Friday night. Sometimes it's hard, maybe Saturday morning at the latest. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, you guys have a great weekend, and I'm really looking forward to your video. Are you going to give us a clue as to what the topic is that you're researching and producing as a close? It should be out in the next day or so. Okay.
I'm excited. I can't wait to
It's
actually.
pretty interesting. Yeah, I think you guys would enjoy it.
I think so. All your stuff is interesting. It's kind of a treat. It's like we're getting a surprise from Shane.
If I can get through this headache, I'll be much better. I was hoping to have something out today, but I was just like, oh, that's just a little bit rough.
In its own time. Definitely.
Now I'm going to have to go take a nap because I'm feeling that heavy feeling. So sorry I wasn't.
Yeah, after these meditations, I sleep on Sunday morning at least 12 hours. Whatever time I go to sleep tonight, I won't wake up for 12 hours. I have a really long sleep after doing group meditations.
DNA upgrades or something, huh?
Yeah, I like have to regroup, get my energy back. But it's not like I'm losing my energy. It's just like we're transforming something. We're putting our energy to work. You know,
Totally.
We just need that little extra sleep.
Totally. Thank you, Ronnie and Sherry. All right. So until next time, lots of love and light to everybody. And thank you again, Eileen.
Thank you, Shane. Bye, everybody. Love you, everybody. Mwah.
Bye-bye. Peace. If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.